What's the weirdest place you've had sex? A cornfield. They were harvesting. Jiggity. In the bud Bob. Came here for this. Reddit is too young. Or I'm too old. I also came here for this too as well. Good old fashioned new lie what game shtick. Got a hand job in the garden section at a Home Depot. I'm married to her now. How? Asking for a friend. We were dating at the time. It was right before the store was closing. I forgot what we went in there for. But we went to look at the plants and no one was there. It was dark in between the plant shelves. She unzipped my pants, pulled it out, and choked my chicken. It wasn't the best experience because it was humid and there was bugs everywhere. My advice is go in the fall. Unisex bathroom in a college dorm. Unisex. No. You need sex. Excellent. School's washroom. Was it a teacher? Was it during school hours? Rule of advice. Never attempt to do it inside of Mini Cooper. I negate this comment, but will add that it's handy if your Mini Cooper has a sunroof. Can be quite successful depending on the size of participants. Sucks when you're 6 foot tall like me and the car doesn't have a retractable roof. Top of a vending machine. Story? I'd like to hear more about this one too. In my head T_T. In my dreams. We climb and climb. And at the top we fly. Bathroom of a Borders bookstore back when those were a thing. My so had gotten horned up looking at romance novels, and it seemed like the thing to do. In a woman's vagina. I know. It's weird. Babies come out of there. But I did it, and I don't regret it at all. Don't mess with the baby portal. Got a blowjob midway down the Exorcist steps in Georgetown, Washington DC. I can find the landing in the movie when the priest gets pushed down them. Fucking legend. Georgetown is a busy place. I forgot to mention. It was my 18th birthday. Good times. I miss the 80s. Up against the keep of a 14th century fortified manor house in the grounds of my university. The moment was spoiled by my buttocks being illuminated by the torch of a passing security guard. I had sex at the top of a medieval castle tower in Eastern Europe. We got to the top and there was no one around, and we knew we would hear anyone coming up the stairs, so we went for it. It was awesome. You haven't had sex until your genitals touch history. Jaime Lannister. Is that you? In the forest. Some kids walked by 20 meters from us doing the deed. This thread is for where you have. Yes. And public transportation. Specifically a bus. My GF dared me to try something naughty while we were going back home in a bus. So I fingered her. The bus was probably 3/4 full. And I think the older couple sitting across from us could tell what we were up to. Not sure if hand stuff counts as sex. But this was what came to mind. Epic gamer move. On the stage of my high school's auditorium. Behind the curtain of course. But still on the stage. In the large bin behind a bar. Brock, is that you? Holla up. During my high school days, my girlfriend and I at the time went to a national park. It was raining outside and we scaled the walls of a ridge that had a small cave in it. It offered an excellent view of the valley during doggy style. Definitely amazing. However unexpected. The place alone nice and weird, but the details push it into that category. Hotel room. 2 queen size beds. Girlfriend and I in one. My parents asleep in the other. Next to a castle. A walnut orchard lol. Bruh, I thought this was r/lucid dreaming, and I got really excited because I had a vivid sex dream last night. On the radio, on a bowling alley, in the backseat of a yellow cab minivan. 2/3 times I was blackout drunk and was sure no one could see. My friends assured me that was not incorrect. What? Like the back of a Volkswagen? It's called Volkswagen. Graveyard. On a football pitch. Train toilet. In her nan's bathroom. Over a car bonnet. In my office. Behind the stage between sets. In a disabled toilet at a theater. On her parents' living room floor. In a Parisian elevator. An empty cinema. On a pool table in my bar. In a tent at a festival. On a trampoline. We get it. You duck. The first Redditor who replies in your mom gets his ass kicked after school. No ifs, ands, or buts. Keep it classy Reddit. In this guy's mom. I also choose this guy's mom. Giant parking lot. The parking lot of a giant brand supermarket or a parking lot that is very large. The giant brand supermarket lol I knew I should've clarified. In a dog house while his friends were watching. The dog's friends? Damn it to hell. I hate myself for doing this. But have an upvote. A walk-in cooler at my work. Story. Sitting just to the side of main entrance to a hospital. In a wheelchair. With a broken leg. Dozens of people must have walked by. Snogging a lady friend. She had on a wrap dress that undid. We undid it. Things happened. Ah. Youth. A gazebo in a public park late at night. Security kicked us out like 30 seconds after we finished. I'll always wonder if they already knew and were just waiting. Or if they just happened to come across us at the right time. That nothing inappropriate was seen. Got a blowjob in the back of a Chevy Cruze with her dad driving on a 7-hour drive. Had a blanket with my knee propped up against the seat. He had no idea. That's what you think. Oh dude, I laughed so hard at your comment XD. In 2004 I did a study abroad program in a small French village called Lacoste. The village was tucked into the side of small mountain overlooking the Luberon Valley in southern France. At the top of the mountain, overlooking an abandoned chateau, I made sweet love to my girlfriend at the time on top of an enormous boulder. I found out later that that abandoned chateau was once inhabited by the Marquis de Sade and was, at the time, owned by shampoo magnate Vidal Sassoon. My mind. Cake day happy. Thanks. Y'all had sex. In 8th grade I got a blowjob in the back of the school bus while my classmates watched. Damn son. I wasn't even fapping yet when I was in 8th grade. Gravel road. Early winter. 40F. Completely dark out. On the hood of my car. Earth. It's a pretty weird place. Burger King bathroom. Are you saying that you once got busy in a Burger King bathroom? Are you Gregory Jacobs? I'm crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. They say I'm ugly but it just don't faze me. On a rooftop. Not too comfortable, but did it just for bragging rights. Graveyard. Had a goth GF. In Rembrandt's closet. Yes. The artist. Yes. In his actual closet in his house. Please explain. Which part is confusing? Rembrandt or closet? On the hood of my car at the Salt Ponds in Newark. CA. Lol Don Edwards. In a children's playhouse. FBI has entered the chat. In a parked car that was parked in a church parking lot in front of the Statue Mary. Nowhere weird but in her room with an open door while her mom was home, which was risky ASF. During a college lecture in the girls' bathroom in middle school. Truth or dare that turned into an orgy at a sleepover. Tell me more about this sleepover. 4 girls in high school all playing truth or dare alone in a house late at night with the lights turned off leads to some spicy occurrences. Started with normal question. Then who do you like typed questions. Then sexual questions. Then we got horny and started playing spin the bottle, but every time you got the same person you did one more base. A 19th century used coffin. Bold of you to assume we Redditors do the dirty. Username checks out. Mayo. Theater. Cruise ship deck. Bathroom floor. Roof of the Trocadero. Leicester Square, London. A tennis court. University library study / meeting room. On a bullet train heading from Milan to Marseille. On an above ground grave behind an abandoned church. Vienna State Opera. On a beach in Tampa, Florida. Because it's Florida, of course. HMM. Work bathroom or garage basement. Equally weird. Bank drive-through. After hours. We were the cleaning crew. We could see all the mall traffic going by, but they couldn't see us. Had fun playing with those pneumatic tubes, too. In a parked boat at a storage yard in the middle of winter in Detroit. Under the goalpost on a high school football field. 32nd floor stairwell of an office building in downtown. There was a cutout square in the wall, so I bent over and looked out over the city, on the roof of movie theater connected to the mall. A bed. I haven't had much sex. Same. Mostly. Except I've had a lot. Me and the wife are just boring lol. Treasure in Berlin. Bathroom stall. Porta potty. It was handicap, so we had plenty of room. On the stairs to the entrance of a school. McDonald's ball pit. Got a blowjob in the back of a bus. Not that great. She was too worried about getting caught to actually give a good one. Was hilarious though. Not a place for SE. But I lost my virginity while we were both tripping on acid. It was ducking wild. No pun intended. On the sponson. Protrusion found on the side of ships, also known as we third X, of the Kearsarge whilst underway with my now wife. It was at night, so plenty of dark corners to hide in. It was funny, because mid-coitus someone walked out of a bulkhead door not even 10 feet from us, but because it was so dark, and we froze with pure fear, and he didn't even see us. Or maybe he did, and decided not to say shit lol. Did you find out who that someone was? Question mark? Like an officer or something? I do know that it wasn't an officer/chief, because he was wearing coveralls and officers/chiefs wear very noticeable gold belts with that, but other than that, no idea. When I say dark I mean damn near pitch black, because it was cloudy that night, hence why we went for it. In a dark 4-foot tall closet below a giraffe exhibit at a zoo. Japan is when I was 16, not even in a dressing room, but in a clothes rack. In a coach's office in high school, not with the coach, just happened to need the closest room that was able to lock for 2 dumb and horny teenagers. Under a trampoline whilst kids played on it when I was a kid. That sounds kind of ducked up. Like you were molested as a kid while other kids jumped on it. Nah, I was 13 losing my virginity to a 17-year-old while my buddy and his girl jumped on the trampoline. Behind some cabinets at the pool at the Venetian after me and my ex's shift ended at the pool. Grandma's living room on a blow-up mattress while folks were watching a movie. Not me, but on a school trip in France. We were at an old fort at night. 2 college students were doing it on the jungle gym. We applauded as they left like they won an award. We also got their Snapchats. My bed lol, pretty wild huh? That would be in the butt, Bob. Behind a rock by the road in Joshua Tree National Park. Top of a cliff overlooking a quarry. In the woods by a popular local canoe livery. Lots of spots in a car. Random abandoned truck stop on the side of the highway somewhere in New Mexico. Middle of the trail on a hike. It was dark on a farm field and we are having sex standing doggy style position when all of a sudden we feel like a million creepy crawlers running up our legs. I couldn't see a thing. Couldn't shake them off. They just kept crawling up in every direction and fast. Ran into the car to see. I was horrified to find myself covered in black ants. Church parking lot. Middle of the street. On a merry-go-round. Driver seat while going 80 down the interstate. I don't make the best decisions. The first 3 are okay. But the last one is really ducking dangerous. 2 others are on the road. Don't do that shit again. I second this. Also be careful of children on the merry-go-round. In the bum. Playground. Twice. 2 different playgrounds. Careful. That's an easy way to get put on the sex offender registry. I know. I was a stupid teenager, now I'm a stupid adult. My imagination. In my boss's unopened chair with the plastic wrap still on it and in the box. I put the loose screws in her ass and mine too, and used the armchair as a bite pad while still in the storage room with 3 janitors singing happy birthday to their friend in Spanish on FaceTime, while only being 5 feet away from the unopened chair box with me and the boss's sister with our butt cheeks tapped open and a giant green St. Patrick's Day ready bear with a dildo tapped to its forehead on the floor and a newspaper from 2007 in its right paw. I had a stroke reading this. Do I have out? No, lot of you have ADHD, it would be easier to read. Behind a speaker at a rave. On a fishing dock in the middle of the day in a secluded park. Later to find out a little league soccer game had started maybe 400 feet down a path from where we were. Oops. In a sauna. It was way too hot and uncomfortable. Confession booth. Communal laundry room. A really old Spanish castle. Golf course in a 55+ community. Zoo. A discount retail break room with a beautiful little firecracker. In a moving cable car in Singapore in broad daylight. Great Yarmouth. Unless you are a pensioner with a barge, you don't visit Norfolk. So yeah, pretty weird place to wind up in. My bed. Almost unheard of. In the backseat of my car. In their parents' driveway while everyone was inside eating Thanksgiving dinner. Porta potty in a parking lot. Classy. The foot of the bed. Nowhere. Texas Roadhouse parking lot. In her butt. In a tree. Our parents' bed. R/harlop. Apartment stairwell. In my dreams the only place I've heard it. Frat house bathroom. Behind a shed. A Kohl's parking lot during store hours. Your mom. At school. During lunch. Behind a building. On the bed. On the floor. On a towel by the door. On a bouncy castle. High school's rooftop. My girl worked at a doctor's office on weekends. Was alone there. We did it in the bathroom on the floor. She messed up her back though. In the back of a Volkswagen. On a go-kart track at a summer camp. At night. I scraped up my knees and her ass on the asphalt. Not weirdest, but I'm happy to say that I can point to one of my favorite locations every time someone posts a picture of Lake Reddit. I've had sex in a cinema and in a graveyard, both very weird and uncomfortable. The boot of a Toyota Avensis. Cemetery. Up in a tree. I gave a blowjob in a hotel banquet room. Trampoline outdoors in Pennsylvania. It was March. Inside a APC in Kuwait. The confessional with the deacon's daughter. The bed of the truck with my at the time ex-GF who was talking mad shit about me behind my back. After I was done I got out, got in the cab, rolled the L window down, and threw all her shit out onto the pavement. Told her I knew all the shit she was talking about me. To go duck herself, since I was done, and to never speak to me again. I then drove home, leaving her there 10 miles from where she was staying. Movie theater handy classic. Parents' backyard right outside room. Oral at a school out of session. 2 different schools. 2 different people. We were young, not adult creeps. Parents' basements numerous times. Also accidentally had a small orgy, but not in a weird place. These 2 beat mine. But other people. A couple did it in the backseat of the church van with people in it. And watched a couple smash in a porta potty. Well, didn't watch. But watched the thing rumble lol. Also the same person gave me oral in front of 5 or more people. Edit spelling. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.